Welcome to this week's Unikernel application spotlight. We're a bit early this week because it's a holiday weekend in the U.S. and I'm not gonna be around. Uh, so uh, so yeah, we're gonna release this on Friday. I don't do any of these tricks on like scheduling releases. Whenever the video gets cut, it gets cut, and I release it. And that happens to be today. So this week we're looking at ClamAV. So this brings back some nice teenage year memories before this was released. The late mid 90s had all sorts of virus activity, and I mean it was probably like it was a really interesting time to be in the virus world. Just all sorts of cool stuff and like some of the best code you've ever saw. Like it severely degraded over the years, obviously, but there's some like crazy good code going on back in the mid 90s. And anyways, it became such a problem that sorry about that. It became such a problem that these email gateways, had to start instituting these scanners and so forth. I mean, they already existed, but it was kind of a hodgepodge. And, email software in general of that time period, again, even today, is still a hodgepodge of like random software. Um, that's just kind of like the way that ecosystem grew. I have yet to seen an email system that's kind of like an all-one. Actually, that's not true. We actually looked at something last year sometime. There was like this nice all-in-one solution. I forgot what it was, but it's on the package hub. So if you hunt for it, let me know. Anyways, back to this conversation. So this is a daemon. It's really designed to be ran on the same system as your mail system is. And so it kind of assumes that there's local file access. That's kind of a crazy assumption to have if you're scanning for viruses, A. But B, it didn't really fit into Unikernel land. And until I actually looked at this again, I didn't know that you could actually upload this to a daemon, which makes a lot of sense. And so that's the component that we're actually going to show you today, and which actually makes a lot of sense for unikernels too. Um, so yeah, this is obviously written in C, and then it just has a database that it updates whenever you update it, and that allows you to get all the signatures. So at the end of the day, that's what this is really revolving around. Basically, a database of signatures and the artifacts that it might spot. So if you want to get it, this is where you would get it. And before we spin it up, we should probably look more at the suite of tools that it actually has. So if you build ClamAV yourself, it uses CMake, as you can see. But there's also like quite a few different binaries that it builds, if you see all these. And essentially, the ones that we're going to be looking at is Clamd. That's the one that we're actually running as a unikernel. And then we're going to be using ClamScan as our kind of user interface. Now, there's lots of interfaces out there. Like some people have them for Go and Rust bindings, so that's kind of cool. Like if you do email processing there, or even if it's not email, maybe it's something else that you're integrating and you want to scan for VX activity. You can use those, so you don't really have to use this. I mean, as you can see right here, libclam-av rust, right? So assuming you built this, the most important thing that you need to know is first you want to run your fresh clam, and all that really does is generate the databases. And so if we remember this, and we'll go take a look real quick at what the file system looks like. Well, I wonder if there's anything in this manifest. Yeah, so the manifest is pretty basic. We foreground the daemon we pointed out our Clamd, and I've turned on the debug mode. But the let's do that. So yeah, these are the database files, these CVD, bytecode, daily, and main, and then that fresh clam.dat. So this is what's actually going to be thrown in when you do the fresh clam. And then there's an update process as well. If you were running a Unikernel in the cloud, you know, assuming you have the same configuration, I would just have something push out a new Unikernel each night, have it do its update process, and you know, that's what it does. That's what I would do. I mean, you could do that on an hourly cron job too, you know, like where you just have a build system that builds the Clamd Unikernel, pushes it out to Amazon, runs up the instance, point a new DNS at it, bam, done. I mean, that's just like really easy, right? That's what I would do. But you know, you do whatever you want. But yeah, the most important part, which I need to show you, is this clamd.conf. So this is, as you can see, quite a few config options. There's only about 3 of these that we set. But the most important part is this database directory has to be an actual full path. It can't be relative. And so, you know, I hard coded it to what I had and to the Unikernel. Your mileage might vary here, but just keep in mind that this does need to be the actual full path. And then I popped the port 3310. And then I also set our user mode IP here of 10.02.15. Obviously, you know, if you're running on Amazon, I would just set that something else. But yeah, those 3 options I think get you where you need to be. And then let's see here. Go back into build, back into clam, scan. Let's go ahead and run this guy. I'll do this, right? And this takes a second to boot up, by the way. And then you might be wondering, okay, well, how can I tell this? How can I understand whether this is working or not? Good question. There's a couple ways that you can do this. First, you can do this test sample. And this is kind of like this is just like a stub test file that will trigger these engines and basically say, yes, it's valid. It's not clam scan that we want. We wanted Clamd scan. And so, yeah, you can kind of see that I just stuffed that in here. And this is a text file, right? But I think you can run this on DOS, and it basically just prints it out. So you can just stuff that in there. And then if you want to test that out, use the Clamd scan, point at your clamconf, set your stream, up the verbosity, see some results, and run it. And as you can see, it says it's infected. And then it'll tell you here on the left what exactly it was. So this is the in stream, and it says, hey, this is the eCar signature, which means like it knows it was a stub file, but it's also triggering it based upon that. Now, you want some live samples. Okay, well, Malware Bazaar is where you want to go. So this is a database of lots of different malware that people submit. They've got 940K in their corpus. You know, primarily they're looking at things like this, the Myri and all this stupid crap. Like I said, VX scene has gone way downhill past so many years. I mean, how old is that anyways? But it looks for like rats and stuff like that too. You know, just all sorts of interesting stuff. Quasar, obviously, this is like all over the place. Ghost Rat, yep, all over there. And as you can see, it has ELFs and EXEs and all these different formats. Tells you if it's been packed, which is interesting. So, yep. Oh, that's your operating system, that sort of stuff. All right. So, anyways, download one, and then we can try it again. And so in this time, I downloaded one of these guys, and so it's a 4C, whatever. We can just do the SHA-2 so you can get the exact one if you want. So yeah, it's 4C 24EA, whatever the hell this crap is. And let's go ahead and throw it up there again. All right, so it says it's infected, and it says it's a dropper of the Myri flavor, and it went ahead and found it. So that's great. But yeah, this is a great use case for unikernels because obviously you don't really want any of this crap on your system. Even if it's on a system that it's not really going to do anything on, it's just, why not throw it into a system that you don't give a shit about? And that's what the unikernel sandbox is giving you here. All right, so this was this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. Maybe earlier, maybe later. I don't know. We'll find out. Till then.